This is the Fallen Angel Christopher Daniels, former TNA X Division champion and former TNA World Tag Team champion, and you are listening to the TNA Cross the Line podcast. Enjoy.
TNA Wrestling, Cross the Line.
And we're back with episode 128 of the TNA Crossline podcast. I am Colling Jr. With me, as always, is Dallas Gridley. In Dallas, we are a mere 8 weeks away from Victory Road on November 7th.
Oh, yeah.
Where we don't know who the number one contender is for the NWA World title. Russo has suggested that it could be Abyss, it could be Raven, it could be Monty Brown, it could be
An outsider.
An outsider. Which means the rumors are rampant.
Whoa.
Who could it be? Could it be Kevin Nash? Could it be Scott Hall? Could it be Hulk Hogan? Or could it just be an outsider from the company? Because he made sure to say that as well.
An outsider, Bob, you think? I don't know.
It's probably just going to be Jeff Hardy again. But
Yeah. I mean, Dusty's promising that it...
Yes, right.
Bob, this feels so weird. We just watched an Impact. We're not doing a 2-hour show now.
I know.
I'm feeling good. It's Sunday morning. I'm drinking my second coffee of the day. It's actually afternoon.
It is afternoon now.
Well, I'm drinking my second coffee of the day just because. And
you went on a Walmart run.
I definitely did not convince my girlfriend that we need to go figure hunting and then have to buy her coffee to make up for the fact that they did not have that figure. I don't know. Speaking of figures, man, the Impact figures, I hope you're going to collect them as well. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm a big TNA fan. I have been slowly collecting some of the original TNA Marvel like Toy Biz line, which I've been enjoying getting those. And I was just told the other day, because I have them like, I don't have them displayed really right now. They're kind of in package, just kind of like sitting on an end table I have. Yeah. And we were down there, like I was like picking up some stuff, and my girlfriend goes, "You can't even see those." I was like, they're right here. What do you mean? She's like, you can't even see them. Insinuating like you literally like why do you have these? They're just sitting here.
Right.
I'm like, well, you know what? I was gonna open them eventually. Right now, they're just looking good.
You're really gonna open them out of case. All right, package.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. With the original line, I have a lot of them. I have a lot loose because I had them as a kid, and they're in good condition. Because I think by the time I got those, I wasn't like being rough really with my toys. My plan is to get Series 1 mint on card, unopened, and open the rest. So I will have one series in the case, and then I'll open the rest of them.
So the first 4, you're going to keep in a case.
Mm-hmm.
And all the other ones you'll open?
Yes, that's my plan.
Why?
So for example, this is what I did with the AEW line. I'm collecting AEW figures, and I knew when I decided I was getting these that I needed to open them for space. I just don't have space to not have them open. So what I did is I purposely bought 2 of the first series so that I could have one in the package and then one out. And the reason I do that is because, first off, I love the packaging of just really figures in general. I think it's really fun. The TNA ones, the Impact ones, beautiful. You got pictures on the side, you got the nameplate, and then it's like the big Impact. Like, I love how they look. I just don't have room to do them. So I figure if I have like that first series, the big series, and I already have those open. So I have all of them open, then I can just get those to kind of resemble the series mint on card. Mm-hmm. It might sound weird, but like I just don't have room for them all to be in the packaging.
No, I mean, it doesn't sound weird.
It's a fair question to ask, though.
I think for me, it would just kind of drive me nuts to know that I have a few open and then other ones not open.
Well, like I said, though, that's why essentially I need 2 of those. So I have them open to satisfy that, then also have them in the package. It's just like what I do. I'm a big Kenny Omega fan, right? So I got...
Yeah, but like, wouldn't you want to do like both? Like every series have one open and have one not open.
That turns into psycho territory for me.
Right.
Would I like to? Yeah. Can I? No. It's just, I mean, that's just what it is. Like, I just can't do it. Right. But that's why, for example, like for Kenny Omega, he's like my favorite. He's been for years. And so in his case, I am getting every single one of his open and not open.
Oh, so for him, you're doubling.
For him, I'm doubling. And that was out of FOMO. I was like, man, like, what if one day I want to get these signed? I don't know. Right. So yeah, I do have all of his figures. Well, I have all of his AEW figures twice. His previous figures and stuff, I do only have one version of them, but that's fine. I don't need all those open stuff, especially because I have one of them that costed, I believe, like $250 or something like that, and it's not even a good figure.
Right.
But yeah, pretty excited about the Impact line. We'll see how they look. I'm not going to pre-order them, I think, until I see how they look. But I'm excited about it. But anyways, enough about figures. As much as I'd love to talk about figures with Bob all day, every day, we have to talk about Impact. And Bob, I do actually have some fun notes today. I mentioned how I didn't think I had a lot. I actually have one thing that might take up a little bit of time here, and it's concerning Conan. We'll get to that soon.
Okay.
It's actually very interesting, but it's a decent little read. And honestly, I didn't think I could really cut many of it out. Like, it's that good.
Is it about WWE?
I do think there is some chat about that, yeah. But before that, let's just talk really quick about the Impact that we just covered on our last week episode. And then we'll kind of dive in. I think I got a few notes about that, including the outsider in talk that we heard. And then we can kind of just dive into some of this fun stuff and get going on the show, which I'm really excited about. So let's just run down the card real quick, like we like to do. As I noted, I noted last week, there's no more thumbs up shit from the Wrestling Observer, at least until pay-per-views. So we're pretty much in the clear on that. We ended up liking the show, which, I think it was fun. So we saw AJ Styles and Jeff Hardy defeat the Naturals, which of course was after about 8 minutes worth of video packages. Then we saw Monty Brown defeat Vordell Walker, who famously knocked out Rick Steiner, apparently. Then we saw Kazarian and Michael Shane defeat the team of Jarrell Clark and Mikey Batts, which Bob noted, is this the end of the underdogs? I think it potentially is.
Yeah.
Then Abyss defeated Brian Owens. They only call him Brian O, or Owen, excuse me. And then in the main event, in a shocking turn of events, exactly how we were hoping it was actually going to go down, Team Canada's Bobby Roode and Johnny Devine defeated the NWA Tag Team Champions Chris Harris and Primetime. Whoa.
Good booking.
I like it, man. That's what I'm talking about. I needed that to happen.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. Dave pretty much just says with that match that is probably setting up for a title match on TV in the next few weeks, which seems like the most obvious thing he could have written. Maybe that's just me. And also it's noted here that the September 9th show, or of course it was September 10th when it aired, it drew about the 400 people because of the hurricane, and also because Jimmy Hart wasn't there to round up people around the park to see the show. I think it's really more about the hurricane, because we've noted with this hurricane season, it's definitely drawing less people. Yeah. So I think that's pretty important to bring up. And actually, it's even noted here as well, from this point forward, the Orlando tapings are going to be far more difficult to get crowds, because attendance to the park on a school night is down to something like 70% from the summer period. So moving on forward, it's going to be a little bit harder to fill the Impact Zone.
Right, because they're on they're filming on a Tuesday, right?
We have not officially started that just yet, but yes, they're going to be. I think right now it's Thursdays still.
Okay, right. So after, okay, right.
Yeah.
Because after the Wednesday pay-per-view.
Right.
Got it.
So there's all that information. Take that for what you will. But let's talk about the outsiders, Bob. So this is a note I did say I was going to save, and I purposely did that because I didn't think we actually heard him mention outsiders yet, and now we know they really did.
Oh, yeah, they definitely did.
Like 4 or 5 times on the last show.
Yeah.
So Jarrett has been hinting about the term outsiders in TV promos, and National have confirmed to friends that they are coming in. We kind of heard about Nash.
I was going to say, so they both have confirmed.
Yeah, they've confirmed that with friends that they are apparently coming here to TNA.
Okay.
And in Scott Hall's case, again, he's returning.
Right.
Dave notes that I guess the big storyline will be whether Nash and Hall are with Vince Russo or Jarrett. They have to try something special to get people to buy the November 7th pay-per-view. They've also, this is big news too, Bob, they've also reserved December 5th for a second pay-per-view show.
I'm
excited.
Second pay-per-view?
Yeah, they reserved the date, December 5th, for their second pay-per-view.
Oh.
I'm excited.
December 5th. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's going to be another, what, probably 5 weeks after...
Rough
four,
yeah. I mean, it's almost a month exactly.
Yeah.
There have been a lot of rumors this week about Las Vegas being in the running for the first show. With the rumor being that it'll be at the 7,000-seat arena at the Orleans. Yeah. Jeff Jarrett went in Las Vegas a few weeks ago, went to the building, which is one of the nicest mid-sized arenas of its type, and was said to have been blown away. Now, the negative is that there is a Las Vegas Wizards hockey game on November 6th, which is the day before, which, because of the setup time needed, would make it difficult. But Jarrett was said to want to do one of the first pay-per-view shows from that building. There were people last week told about Las Vegas, but Don Harris was in Norfolk this past week doing a site survey on the building there for the possibility of November 7th. He notes that I expect to hear rumors of other sites as well.
Are we really supposed to think that they could fill a 7,000-seat arena?
Depends what they do, I guess. Depends what these outsiders are going to bring to the table.
I mean, even with that, I mean, give me a break.
Well, and I do think now we kind of elaborate on this a bit here, okay? So, pretty much exactly what you're saying. So they need to eventually get into what is considered a glamour market, but finding a way to become an in thing in that market is a lot harder than Nashville or Orlando, because the Major League Entertainment that is in Las Vegas every night, it's going to be impossible to sell tickets there. Now, this relates to us very well here on the TNA Cross the Line podcast, because as when WWA went to Las Vegas for a pay-per-view and used Randy Savage's name with Jeff Jarrett and Bret Hart as big stars and had a casino co-promoting the event, they only drew around 550 people paid. But Las Vegas isn't that hard to paper.
Right. So it might be hard. It might not be hard to paper, but it's hard to get a paying
Money.
audience. Yeah, to make money off of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, pretty good stuff. Okay, let me get this smaller note out of the way first, and then we'll talk about Conan because it's a little bit longer form, and then I think that's really it before we get started on the show. So we actually heard it on the broadcast, but Savio Vega and Luke Williams were at the Orlando show to negotiate a talent exchange deal, speaking with Jerry Jarrett. Now, we know that Savio Vega ended up being on Spanish commentary as well. It's an interesting political deal because Mantell has been sending talent to WWC, and IWA had contacted some TNA people in the past, and the wrestlers had been told they couldn't go because of Mantell's deal. Jerry told them that the deal was Mantell got a booking fee for sending talent to WWC, but TNA wasn't involved in that deal. He told them a few WWC guys were coming for a taping in September, and he wasn't going to cancel it. but wanted to start the deal in October. Things were verbally agreed to, but nothing has been signed. Jerry wanted Jeff to come in as the NWA champion for a few times a year, and the company would send other talent to IWA, probably starting on October 14th to October 17th when IWA has its next round of big shows. Conan's name was also brought up, as he headlined in Puerto Rico a few years back. Jerry said they wanted 2 Mexican stars and 2 Puerto Rican stars, and said it was because Fox was looking for guys to appeal to the Latin market. Because Armando Quintero was gone on a non-wrestling assignment, Vega also did the Spanish announcing for Impact. Quintero may be gone for good, since Vega was asked and agreed to come in full-time as an announcer. So Savio Vega may be full-time Spanish announcer now, which is kind of crazy to think about. I never knew that this was even the case.
Yeah, I had no idea.
And Jerry Jarrett told them that he wanted to work through Victor. Oh boy. Oh, I'm gonna mess this up. It's Victor.
Quantos?
Yeah, it's something like that. I just know I'm gonna Victor Quantos. We're gonna say to get Mexican talent. Vega, whose hand was wrapped up because he accidentally cut it with a knife, cutting food, got a much bigger reaction in Orlando than people expected. IWA is on Sunshine Network after Explosion, although it's totally screwed up as nothing is shown in order, and it's almost impossible to follow. TNA Impact doesn't even air in Orlando.
What?
Isn't that wild? How's that happen?
That's weird.
Yeah. Okay. So that's a lot of fun stuff at Savio Vega. Now this Conan stuff, dude, you're going to have to hang on tight. I'm going to take a couple breathers in between because I'm going to need to.
Okay.
But there's a lot to get through, and it's pretty crazy. So there has been some dissension of late. And actually, I shouldn't say it's just Conan. He's just the majority of the story because, in particular, this deals with Conan and Raven and others to a lesser extent, all unhappy with their positioning. So, Kid Kash hasn't been as vocal in recent weeks, but no doubt the frustration level, with no sign of things moving upward after the initial better-than-expected rating, is going to be getting to everyone now. Now, Raven was at least positioned as a major title contender watching the Jarrett Hardy match, but hasn't been used much since he complained to Dixie Carter about the booking of Jarrett and Dutch, which was not the thing to do. Conan and the Jarretts had a blowout this week. You could see it coming after Conan's appearance on the Wrestling Observer Live, as he talked about how he and BG James have more name recognition than almost anyone on the roster. They get better reaction in both Nashville and Orlando than almost anyone, but don't get major storylines. The company's feeling has always been they are good for a pop, but TNA was afraid to book them in major programs because of the in-ring. That's a pretty fair point.
Okay.
Both were aware of it and got into better shape and have performed better, at least based on the glimpses I've seen, Dave saying he's seen of them, and get as good reactions from the live crowds as anyone, particularly in Orlando, where you have a lot of people coming in who don't know new guys. Conan complained about how they get strong reactions. Both he and James had gotten into better shape and can do good promos, but haven't been moved back to the top. This came after they complained that they were put into the Dusty Rhodes storyline as backdrops. Conan was on the air with frustration about getting Jeff and Mantel to listen to his complaints. He complained it had become like WWE, where they cut everyone off booking-wise so nobody can rise to the top, and was mad because he felt he'd done good promos and his stuff had gotten over, but he did nothing but a late run-in on the pay-per-view the night before, and was booked for a dark match in Orlando, and just a quick run-in. So this keeps going. I mean, this is just the beginning. So he's got quite the gripe here. With Jimmy Hart not there in Orlando to round up people to the park to come to the tapings, Conan and James were asked to walk around the park on September 9th to round up fans. Conan complained about he complained about his bad hip bothering him. And it started the wheels in motion with them asking why they were asked to go with Hart 2 weeks earlier and do the same job, and nobody else is asked. Jarrett was furious at Konnan for his feeling that he didn't want to do it. So they sent Vince Russo to talk with Konnan since he's good friends with him. Konnan complained to Russo, who then told Konnan he and Jeff needed to talk. The Real Life crew was told it was because they are the few people who are recognizable as wrestlers from their prior TV. And Jimmy Hart said that they and Ryan Wilson, who doesn't even wrestle on TV, but they are grooming him for a push because of his size, are the best people for him to work with, getting the park goers interested in seeing a tape. Hart claims people get intrigued by Wilson because he's 6'9", and people gravitate towards seeing a monster, while Konnan and James are recognized by more people than almost anyone because they were pushed during the hot period of wrestling. Hart told... Go ahead, you were about to chime in?
No, I mean, I don't know. I mean, the idea that just because Ryan Wilson or Titus is 6'9", I don't know if
he's a monster.
Yeah, I don't know if... Yeah, I mean, visually, oh, hey, this guy's tall. Oh, hey, you want to see him wrestle? And then you see him wrestle, and then you're probably gonna be like, oh, that sucked. I understand the BG, James, and Konnan reasoning for the pushing, during the height of pro wrestling.
Well, and also, I don't think we should forget that when they were doing early 3 Live Crew stuff, like on the Nashville Fairgrounds, they were like having a lot of fun with the fans and stuff. So I guess I could understand why they'd want to put them out there.
Yeah, but I think another thing I'm kind of thinking of is like, why wouldn't you use Jeff Jarrett or Jeff Hardy?
You got to come and see the big stars, dude.
Yeah, but if you're trying to get people in there, and I think another interesting person would be a guy like Monty Brown.
Oh,
he's got the charisma, pride to get you in there.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So, I agree with that.
AJ Styles, I guess.
Right. So, continuing. Hart told the company people that nobody recognizes Johnny Fairplay, who he was originally using. Because remember, Fairplay and Titus were the ones walking around. Mm-hmm. Other than older women who don't care about wrestling. Those are the only people who know who Johnny Fairplay is, apparently. As it turned out, Konnan also complained about getting no interview time and nothing but a late run-in the night before, and then being booked for a dark match with Wilson instead of on Impact. He brought up Wilson was green and might hurt someone, and then in the match, Wilson ended up hurting BG James, who got a dislocated shoulder. Yeah. Konnan said if they were 3 of the most recognizable people in the company, and that if it was a big enough star that Jarrett brought him to Las Vegas to help them on a merchandising deal, how come they don't get more of a push, noting that an advertising deal that they have at a park for taping doesn't list their name. And Konnan heard a radio commercial for Impact listing several names, noted Jarrett, Styles, Fairplay, Raven, and Brown, but not that he and James were listed at all. He was told that Fairplay even mentioned Dixie Carter's. He was told the Fairplay mention was Dixie Carter's insistence, so that's why Fairplay is mentioned on the commercial. Mm-hmm. He also complained about Goldilocks getting so much TV time as compared to him, and he's got a good one there, according to Dave. He was mad at the Naturals getting pyro for the ring entrance, but they don't, which is also interesting. Jarrett told him not to be a mark, that the Naturals need it because they're trying to get them over. But the Real Life crew can get over without pyro or belts. Konnan then asked Jeff why he needed pyro. And said people are conditioned to thinking that big stars get pyro now.
Oh my God.
This keeps going. As the talks heated up, Jarrett came in and was furious at Konnan. The Jarretts told 3 Live Crew as a group that they were in a good spot at the level of America's Most Wanted, and they could easily be in the Gilberti, David Young, and Pat Kenny level. So they're like threatening them with like other people who aren't being used, which is. They were also given an angle for the pay-per-view where they wouldn't wrestle on the show, but would get lost traveling to the show and end up partying with common people, maybe in a trailer park or something somewhere near whatever city the show is at, which didn't make them happy because they realized it had already been decided on that they wouldn't have a match on the 3-hour show. The Jarretts noted to them that they're on TV, on every TV and pay-per-view, but Konnan complained they often are booked as faces who can't get the job done. rarely are booked to look strong and get their group's gangster gimmick over, and much of their wrestling was in dark matches. It was also noted at one point Killings had been asked to put a bone in his hair at one point and refused to do that. And they wanted to bring up some outdated stereotypes with Conan, such as a tequila bottle as a prop. Jeff told Conan that if he didn't like it, he could go home right now, and later told Jerry Conan Jerry told Conan that if he wasn't happy, he could leave. Conan said he didn't want to quit. It is a buyer's market right now, and TNA has no superstars who are going to make the difference single-handedly. For the talent, there are no alternatives, as WWE would be interested in very few. And given the situation here, it's doubtful anyone would fare better when it comes to a push in WWE. The only people who have any leverage in dealing with TNA are those in a bona fide regular Japanese deal. And it's also lastly noted that Jerry in particular was set to, I think it's supposed to say, be mad when this happened. That's a typo. Oh.
Well,
that's a lot.
Part of this I agree with Conan, and then other parts it's like, really.
Yeah,
I kind of agree with both sides. So like when they're saying, hey, you guys don't need pyro or the belts to get over, I tend to agree with that, because I think to some extent they are pretty over. Now, would I say that they're like the most over act? No. I mean, I feel like I've heard you say that the reaction, like at the fairgrounds or whatever, that they were like the most popular group or whatever, and it's just like that's a tough thing for me to buy into. So like I don't think they really need that. Should they be like Conan and BG James? Should they be mentioned in advertisements and whatnot? Sure, but I mean, people would probably know who Conan is. But when you can't say Road Dogg,
right?
So you could only say BG James, and then how many people are going to know that? I mean, could you say, hey, the guy formerly known as Road Dogg, BG James? I mean, I guess, but
yeah, but I almost think if you do that, it almost cheapens what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like saying that's probably why they're not doing it.
Him better somewhere else. And
yeah. I don't think you want to do that, but also I hate to say it, but like BG James don't look like Road Dogg no more.
No.
They got Conan. He always looks like Conan. BG James, not really.
Yeah.
And then this dude wears a jersey that says B Jizzle on it. I'm like, yo, I don't know what's going on with this guy. It's kind of weird. It's a weird nickname.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, some of it is just maybe them being a little dramatic, but then I think
he's got some good points.
There's some solid points in there, yeah.
Absolutely. But it was a lot. And the stuff with Raven is interesting, that they're potentially holding him back because he complained Dixie Carter kind of went over Jarrett's head. I think that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And I also think it's important to note, and we've heard it months and months ago, probably even a year at this point, but Jarrett I feel like is more of a Russo guy anyway. And if Russo kind of doesn't have as much power booking-wise too, that might be also part of that reason why Raven is not doing a lot.
Well, and I think with Raven, which is interesting in terms of impact, I mean, we've only seen him wrestle like one time.
Yeah, it's very few. I think it might have been more than one, but very, very few.
Yeah, and the only one I can remember is, he beat somebody and then like Sabu got involved.
Right.
Afterward. And there might have been another one where they were brawling in the crowd. So he's had like maybe 2 appearances.
I think very few. Which is actually kind of off topic, but you mentioned Sabu there. Even over on our Twitter page, Bob, did you know that Sabu essentially confirmed the infection he got that had to end the storyline with him and Raven?
I did not know that.
Yeah, so he confirmed it. Because I tweeted, and it was about the Hangman's Horror match. I wonder if I can find it really quick. Oh, yeah. He literally, I posted, like, with Sabu out, who will Raven fight in Hangman's Horror? And he said, I caught an infection and had to drop out of that angle, and he had to drop out of wrestling for a year. So he confirmed the infection that we heard this. I mean, and not that was like a big like secret or anything, but it's nice to see like, okay, we heard that he has this infection and this issue, and it's confirmed. Like he literally told us.
Well, so he was out for a year, and weren't there people in TNA who initially thought that he was overstating the injury or whatever?
Originally, yes, and then I think they said once he missed a couple of other bookings, they were like, oh wait, no, he's like serious.
Yeah.
And if you want to see some fun stuff like that too, you can go follow us on Twitter at CrossTheLineTNA. Join us for all the fun.
Do it.
Bob, that is everything. If we're cruising. I got no notes on dark matches today.
Wow.
So
All right.
you know what time it is. Let's keep going on that victory road, baby.
All right. Well, it is time then to check out the September 17th, 2004 edition of NWA TNA Impact. I will count the runtime here is approximately 44 minutes, 32 seconds. I'll count down from 3, and when I say play, that is when you're going to want to watch along on Impact Plus if you have it, or if it's in your own personal collection, that should work as well. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, play.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude, I love this intro. This is TNA.
Yeah, but then we have to deal with the stupid, like, ad opening.
Oh. On today's Impact, we'll see superstars from the signature thing. Okay, so we're going to see X Division stars and Jeff Jarrett in action. Here's Russo saying who's going to be the next number one contender. He's shirtless again. And they're just talking about that Jarrett promo we saw last week, talking about the outsiders and stuff. And now,
right, and now he said, "Have I already beaten you to the punch?" So he is kind of suggesting that the outsiders that they have mentioned may already be on his side.
Ho.
At least that's how I'm taking it from that. So.
Okay, we still got the shitty song, so I was wrong. I was hoping they were maybe going to change it.
No, I mean,
it's going to be a fucking party when they change that shit.
Yeah, I wonder when they do.
Oh, don't give me goosebumps right away, man. We're seeing the commercial immediately for the Victory Road show that we saw the last episode. I'm going to get goosebumps again. I can't do this right now.
It's interesting they're doing that at the start.
Yeah.
It's a weird
See, now this is fun, though, because we don't have the 6 minutes of highlight packages that we had last week from pay-per-view. We don't have any long video packages to use.
That's true.
I think if we're going to see anything, it's going to be like vignettes of certain people or something like that, you know?
Well, I want to point out, speaking of vignettes, we have not seen that mystery one where it's like, oh, he's coming.
Oh, shit. You're right, dude.
So I wonder what that is.
Dropped. It's got to be dropped.
It's got to be dropped. So.
But see, how crazy is that, dude? In wrestling, you could hype up something for weeks, stop it, and then people just forget. Like, we forgot. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, it's. I
That's
think
how
a lot
wrestling
of it
is.
I feel like a lot of it has to do with like so much happens.
Yeah.
In you have so many different angles with different people that you just tend to maybe forget about something if it's not constantly reminded to you.
Well, and stuff like that is almost even more different because it's like a little vignette. It's not like a major angle. Whereas like if they drop a major angle, usually you're like, okay, come on.
Well, yeah, like with Sabu and Raven, like we kind of knew.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what's this?
A new Genesis will unfold. This voiceover, dude.
He's iconic.
Victory Road. Oh yeah. Oh man. It's like seeing that logo and everything, dude. It's just like, it's what I want. Get ready for the beginning of a new era. A shot of the Impact Zone here. Victory Road live November 7th. Best of the X Division coming up this Wednesday. Me and Bob are not covering that. Sorry, guys.
And I like how TNA like has to make it sound like a big deal.
Holy shit. That firework shook the cameraman's arm. Like, it was like that loud. Did you see it? It fired off, and he
Yeah.
was like, "Whoa!" It like jerked.
Yeah. I'll see you.
Here's Petey Williams, Eric Young. That's all. Is it Bobby Roode? Okay, so not Johnny Devine.
Okay. The cream of the crop. All right. Well, I have a couple of notes here for Petey Williams. He had a busy weekend, or actually busy Friday, since this airs on Fridays back in 2004. Thursday and Friday. You know, he had a weird busy middle of the week. I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
Anyway, so September 15th, Petey Williams successfully defended the IWA Mid-South Heavyweight Championship when he defeated CM Punk at IWA Mid-South's A Phenomenal Invasion in Evansville, Indiana. And then the next day, on September 16th, he successfully defended the IWA Mid-South title against B-Boy in New Albany, Indiana at IWA Homecoming. And then on September 17th, IWA Heavyweight Champion Petey Williams defeated BJ Whitmer in the Ted Petty Invitational first round. And then apparently, and that was in Highland, Indiana. And then on September 17th, that same day, which I feel like can't be right because he had a match in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. He lost to Duke Durango by disqualification for Stampede. I'm not really sure if you could go to Indiana to Canada or Canada to India in the same day like that, but
well,
maybe.
we'll pretend. We got Team Canada against Team Mexico, Abismo Negro, Heavy Metal, and Mr. Aguila.
Also known as S.A. Rios. Oh!
We cannot see buttholes. He's got shorts on underneath.
No, but that was a dangerous-looking somersault dive to Rude.
Yes, it was.
The floor. Well, the crowd is reacting positively, but I think that had to do with Heavy Metal throwing something into the crowd.
Yeah, it did look like it was maybe a bandana or something off his head. Oh! Abismo Negro just bounced off the ropes pretty cool if they're Petey threw him over there. Oh.
Hurricane Rana, that's going to get a 2 count. Now they're going to trade some pin attempts. Petey off the ropes, lift it up, and Negro with a power slam.
Kind of a weird looking one, but we'll take it.
Yeah.
Mr. Aguila in the ring with Petey Williams now.
It is pretty funny that he has to wear like shorts now.
I love it. They're like, hey, imagine that conversation. Hey man, we can see your butthole.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I mean, we could. It's the truth.
We're on it like Fridays at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Like, we're gonna need you to wear shorts.
We can't have your butthole hanging out.
Yeah.
Sorry.
On pay-per-view, that's fine. Like you can do that, but on TV, I don't know.
Yeah, right. No, I know you actually listen to it, Bob, but maybe we can talk about it during this here. On the My World podcast, Jeff Jarrett covered pay-per-view number 5, which of course we covered 2 years ago, and it's the same episode where Puppet was in the trash can,
right,
beaten off, and it was hilarious. Yeah. And it's kind of cool to hear Jeff Jarrett like get questioned, be like, okay, like what are we serious? And the way they kind of go through the episode is just how we were. It's literally was the Wild West during the same exact show. A lot of stuff is going on that's like, what's happening?
Yeah, it's
fun to hear Jarrett try to explain like, okay, what were you doing?
Well, some things I feel like you can't really explain.
No, you can't.
That is something that's more like a shock value, I think.
Absolutely. And they also talked about Goldilocks a lot, about how they got her brought in essentially from like a talent manager or something, was like, hey, give her a shot and stuff like that.
Yep.
So it's pretty cool. High knee.
Yeah, cutting off Aguila with a knee lift to the midsection. comes the X Division champion, Petey Williams.
Oh.
Handspring double clothesline. And here comes Negro. And he is cleaning house with clotheslines on Bobby Roode. Kick to the midsection. Off the ropes. Running kick.
Dude. Bismo Negro's on fire.
Springboard.
Oh, that made me nervous.
There's a moonsault to the knees.
It was almost at the ankles, and he almost didn't rotate good.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that match is breaking down.
I feel like anytime that there's a brawl like this, that just means that 3 Life Crew are going to come out.
Yeah, they're going to be run-ins at the end.
Conan's going to be pissed.
It's kind of crazy. Well, let's hint around it. I don't want to say too much. It's crazy how many people we've heard not happy with the company and how long they stay with the company.
Well, I mean, when you don't really have other options.
Well, yeah, I mean, the independent scene is very different around this time, so there's also that.
Oh, I thought Rude was going to pin Metal after he went after D'Amore there on the power side. Now he's going for a power bomb. No. Metal counters. Chops Rude. Spinning kick to the face. Now he goes for another cover, and he's going to kick out. Even though he was pulling on Rude's little goatee thing. Scoop and a slam. Metal going to the top rope, but D'Amore's going to use that hockey stick to crush
What a
him.
son of a bitch.
Can't believe he's cheating like this. Oh, okay, Rude's got him on his shoulders, and we are going to hit a Death Valley driver. 1, 2, and that does it.
There we go. Another win for Team Canada.
Not surprised with that outcome. And I'm honestly kind of surprised that Team Mexico was being used still.
Yeah, I mean, it's a
A
fair
little
point.
bit.
Oh, and here comes Team Canada just to beat them down. Maybe they're not going to be used for much longer.
Yeah.
Don't you miss the America's X Cup, Bob?
No.
Come on.
Those were my least favorite episodes to that.
I like Team UK.
Okay. Yeah. That was rough. That whole thing was just rough.
Yeah. Wait, there is a beatdown now, so that's got to be 3 Life Crew, right?
It's 3. Yeah, someone's gonna have to come out. Or will it be the tag champions? Because no one can do it. Who's this?
It's Hector Garza.
What the hell is Hector Garza doing here?
Oh, not much. Because Petey Williams just drop kicked his ass and knocked him down. D'Amore's fighting him.
Yeah, he drop kicked him pretty good on the knee there. Now they're all just getting beaten down. Stops. Who can possibly save these guys?
No one.
I almost wouldn't mind if they didn't have somebody save them. Just let them have the moment. Oh. Bobby Roode going to the heavyweights?
That's what we need.
Where else would he go? And they did. No one came out to help him, so they just let Team Canada beat him down for several minutes. I don't hate that. Video package here of Harris, of course, Harris and Skipper, of course, winning the tag team championships from the Naturals. What happens now? Storm
Nothing.
and Daniels are both hurt. Storm is back. Daniels' his shoulder. That's what caused Skipper and Harris to be partners to begin with. But last week we saw Team Canada defeat the tag team champions in a non-title match. And they were beaten down. But then James, Storm, and Daniels came out, made the save, and so did Ron Killings and Conan. No BG James. At least I didn't see BG James come out.
I don't think so. Not that
And
I
the
recall.
Naturals also got involved as well. But we don't even see Ron and Conan getting involved. Kid Kash and Dallas are in action against Sabin and Amazing Red.
I ain't going to complain about that.
That could be fun. That has potential to have Dallas kind of stand out. Best of the X Division. This is going to be on pay-per-view, so check it out. The best X Division action from 2004.
Everything you
Featuring
wanted
Shane
and
and
more.
Kazarian. Yeah, I don't think so. Kid Cash will be on the show. Of course, again, these are just replays of their matches.
It's kind of crazy, isn't it?
From the first 8 months of the year. This has got to be geared towards, like, new fans.
New fans, right? Yeah, who you haven't checked out these shows, really. Nisawa? That's exactly why I was going to watch this pay-per-view.
Sanjay Dutt. That's weird that they promoted Nisawa.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Yeah. And I like how they just listed like 12 guys, and then after AJ Styles, they go, and the rest of the division. Like, who else?
Oh, yeah, dude. We talked about the best of the tag teams on the last Wednesday show. Best of the heavyweights coming up. Kid Cash, and I see those are the Kid Cash tights I like, dude.
Yeah. Of course they are. Let's see here. So Chris Sabin has one indie note. Back on, well, actually the same day, September 17th, he lost to Rain Man in the first round of the Ted Petty Invitational in Highland, Indiana, Friday Day Mid-South. And then Amazing Red had a few matches. And by a few, I mean two. Back on September 11th, Amazing Red teamed up with Sanjay Dutt in a losing effort against Jimmy Rave and M-Dog 20 at CZW's High Stakes 2, the afternoon show. Wow. And that was at the ECW Arena. And then on the same day here, September 17th, Amazing Red lost to Jay Lethal at USA Pro Mind Games in New York City, New York. And that is the notes for this match.
Nice. Looks like Sick. Red and Kid Cash might be starting us off. Or is it Dallas? No, it's Kid Cash. Okay.
Dallas having a rough hair day, it looked like.
Listen, he just wasn't ready for this.
I guess not. You know, so another thing about Kid Cash that I found interesting about his interview from a couple weeks ago with Rene Dupree. So he was talking about AJ Styles like winning the heavyweight title.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of thought that when you have smaller guys win the title, like it loses credibility. So he was saying like AJ, like Rey Mysterio, whatever. And I thought to myself, I was like, I wonder if they approached Kid Cash to win the NWA title, if he would have been like, nah.
Oh, that's a good question.
We're going to commercial here. We're back.
This is a recent interview?
Yeah. The YouTube clip I saw was posted like a month or two ago.
Oh, wow. I might need to find this because it sounds like he talks a lot about TNA, and I really want to hear it.
Yeah. Like so even in 2022, it would appear that his main gripe here is Amazing Red just drop kicked Cash to save Sabin. His main gripe was with the Golden Boys, as he put it. Let's see, like younger talent. So your Styles, your Chris Harris, James Storm.
Wow.
Like they picked certain guys that had a certain look to be over. As Cash lands on his feet on a monkey flip attempt by Sabin and then gets drop kicked anyway.
Yeah, that's really interesting. But you know what? Shout out to Kid Cash, friend of the show, follows us on Twitter.
I like Kid Cash.
No matter what he, a lot.
He clothesline Sabin right out of his boots. Like I've said before, I think that if Kid Cash would have been an interesting option to be the NWA champion if Jeff Jarrett wasn't like dominating that that title scene, as Dallas hits a huge side slam on Sabin for a 2 count. And this is a new referee. I've never seen this referee before in my life.
Yeah, I don't. I have literally no clue who that guy is.
That is really bizarre. He's usually the same 3 guys, and now we have a random guy in there. As Kid Kash now is back in, he's just eye raking Sabin after a chop. Sabin fired back with a forearm and another one.
TNA is the best referees.
Well, I mean, I don't even know who this guy is.
Well, okay, not this one.
Oh.
The usuals:
Ooh,
Posey,
nice.
Rudy Charles,
Nice moonsault there by Kash. A springboard moonsault.
Andrew Thomas.
Andrew Thomas.
I'm losing the other guy's name right now. We don't have him yet. Oh my god.
Don't listen. Spoilers, dude. Don't say.
Oh,
Back when we had Slick Johnson.
no, that's who I'm thinking of. Slick Johnson.
Oh yeah, well he was here before.
That's right. He was early.
2002. Yeah.
Well, because
As you look at your plaque.
Well, because there's Slick Johnson, Rudy Charles, and Andrew Thomas. It looks like Posey's not on that.
I don't think Posey's around then. Yeah. What year is that? 2006.
No. Later.
What, 8, 7?
Maybe 9. It's 7 years from the Asylum to the Impact Zone.
So 2009.
Yeah, I think it's 2009. I have autographs that no one wants on that.
Of course you do.
I bought it from them. I love it. It's one of my favorite things.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. All right, Amazing Red's in. He forearms Kash, followed by a clothesline. Kick to the midsection.
Oh no! Oh no! That was supposed to be the code red, and it did not go well.
I thought Kash was countering it, but I don't think that was a counter. I will say Dallas kind of stands out in this match since everybody else is significantly smaller than him.
Yeah.
Do you kind of get test vibes from Dallas?
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, dude, it is test.
Yeah.
That's test in the ring.
Yeah.
Missile drop kick by Red onto Dallas. I just like that there's a wrestler who has the same name as me. Because what the heck is the chance of that?
There's even the big boot is a test move. I'm just now realizing that.
In the pants, dude, with like even the cross, I feel like.
Yes.
And everything.
Yes.
Kash,
now realizing
frog splash. Oh, almost folds himself over. Nice frog splash. That's a 3, baby.
Clean win for Dallas and Kash.
Who was that referee? Well, don't give a fuck because he pushed him right out of frame. He looks crazy with that hair, though. I like it. Monty Brown. We're going to hear from Monty Brown.
He believes he should be the #1 contender.
Or maybe
and I'm not going to argue with it. Feel the pounce. Chris Vaughn. Remember him? He's fun.
Yeah, poor guy. Looks like this is one of those vignettes we were just complaining that we haven't seen a lot of. Although we've seen him get time. Look at the dude. The pounce is so freaking good. Recently on AEW television, Keith Lee did a kind of a pounce onto. I can't remember which member of Private Party it was. And people were like, "Oh my god, look at this pounce!" And I was like, "Man, come on."
Remember the who was it? Was it AC Romero?
Yes.
He pounced Anthony Gaines
into the crowd, like
and it went viral.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like no one capitalized on that.
Mm.
That sucked. What can you do? I think that was at
ESW, right? Yeah,
Empire.
It was. The way he pounces them and they bounce generally in the 6-sided ring bounce off those back ropes is so good.
Yeah.
I love these videos that they probably took in the park of him like in like plants to make it look like he's
okay, so you have that within the plants, which makes sense. Serengeti, I get it, but then like the one with Abyss at a waterfall.
Yeah.
It's like I don't think that's kind of weird.
Jeff Jarrett up next. We are 23 minutes, 38 seconds into this show. Ah, shit, Bob. We were wrong. Here's a highlight package from the last pay-per-view of Jarrett and Hardy. Fuck. Damn it.
It's like, we get it. I wonder when they're going to not do that.
I don't know.
Monty Brown's happy. Abyss doesn't know what to do with his hands, so he just does that. Raven's laughing.
Okay, now we're talking about the promo from last week.
Okay. Now there's a promo.
Okay. Jeff Hardy. It's Dusty pretty much promising Jeff Hardy's going to get a rematch, and he's going to up the ante. We don't know what that means yet or if it'll happen. We have a championship committee that you haven't heard about now in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
They just they fading that out, you think, or what?
They have to be. Because it was what? It was Funk, Race, and Zbyszko. And
it was Zbyszko. Let's be real.
It's Zbyszko. Yeah.
So the fact that we have Zbyszko, Rhodes, and Vince Russo essentially as all authority figures is absolutely absurd.
Well, I think Zbyszko has said he doesn't really have any power, but he just like does things.
What is Jeff Hardy doing in the club? What is that? Well, look at that Raven shot. Where are all these people sitting?
Oh.
Raven with the stage. Stop showing Hulk Hogan.
So
although we're on TV, I get why they're doing that.
Yeah, so you're saying like
get it. Okay.
Whether you're in TNA or out of it, and they only show Hogan.
Outsiders. Look at the smile. They know what the fuck they're like. Okay. Outsiders,
so
man.
You can't do this if they're not signed.
They've done it before, Bob.
I know they have, but like we're in a different.
What's
era.
even worse is when they're like, "Hey, China's coming next week," and then she don't come.
She don't.
At least this way they're hinting around it.
Right. Yeah.
A very obvious hint because obviously they are called the Outsiders.
Yeah, I forgot about that China thing.
The China thing was really bad.
Yeah.
At least with the Hogan thing, they shot the footage of him attacking him and everything, and they like were gonna do something. China was like, "She's coming next week," and then like that was it.
Right. So I mean, I guess in some aspect they got something out of the Hogan thing. Here comes the Elite Guard for some reason: Onyx, Collier, and Hernandez. Does that mean is Jeff coming out? Although they haven't really been associated with him anyway. What? Oh, Lex Lovett.
Lex Lovett.
Lovett.
I mean, I just like saying it like that. You might be right too, but
okay. He remember he was almost going to be a disciple of the New Church, right?
I like that idea still.
He's bald, slashing him. Why not? Could work. And here comes the NWA champion, Jeff Jarrett. So the Elite Guard ran out to ringside for Jeff Jarrett for a match against Lex Lovett. If he needs their help to defeat Lex Lovett, I swear. Like, nothing's changed.
Who's next in line for a shot?
There's our
Jeff Jarrett.
Conan's pissed right now. He's like, yeah, of course Jeff Jarrett gets it. He's a star.
I love the like steam fog stuff they do like that. I love that. Yeah. Or like CO2. It's like CO2 air or whatever.
Yeah.
I like that.
Probably just dry ice.
Yeah, it's that kind of shit. I love it.
Well, there's the guitar. I wonder if he's going to use it on this poor guy, Lex Lovett. Or does he have a standard? Like, you have to be at a certain like star power to get the guitar shot.
You very well might need to be.
Is he going to take the belt off?
Yes. There we go. He didn't take his jacket off. He just threw the belt down. Mike Posey's our referee for this match. And drop kick by Jarrett.
Oh, right to the face.
Jarrett has a nice drop kick.
Yeah, I'll give him that.
Which is pretty interesting for like a heavyweight guy to have like a good drop kick. I feel like that's not very often.
Yeah, I mean, Hardcore Holly's got a good one.
Okay, that is literally not someone I would have even thought twice about their dropkick.
Randy Orton. Got a good one.
Okay, Randy Orton is good. Yeah, you're right.
You really don't think that Bob Holly has got a good one? Oh, geez.
No, I
going in the crowd for this guy? Oh, my God. Give me a break.
Well, dude, it's Jeff Jarrett match. I just can't picture a hardcore Holly dropkick in my head right now.
Really?
And he's just not. I feel like he's not someone I think about a lot. Oh my God, Spanish and unstable. Bob has officially lost the Chipotle bet that we placed 2 years ago. By the way, guys, we've left the asylum and
we've left it completely. It's not even a sliver of a chance. I'm surprised about that with you and Bob Holly. I mean, there's almost every match, like post, I don't know, 1999. He hits the drop kick, and they're always like, "That's the best drop kick in the business," and he never wins with it. But they're always like, "Oh, he might win," and he doesn't.
I don't know. I guess I just can't think about it. Maybe I'll have to keep watching my ECW 2006 and.
He definitely hits a drop kick in 2006.
That's what I'm saying. I watched one episode and I was like, "Yeah, this is what I thought it was."
Yeah.
Because I told Bob, this is off air. I strictly wanted to watch that because I wanted to see Monty Brown eventually come, and it's in 2007, so I'd have to watch a lot.
You'd have to probably watch almost a year of it.
I probably should just skip ahead because then he fights Cassidy O'Reilly, I think. But what was fun is on the first episode, FBI comes out, and then freaking Trinity's with him.
Oh wow!
And I was like, "Oh shit, this is TNA." I loved it.
Levesque just hit a running blockbuster, which is weird, and now he went for a somersault leg drop, but he missed. And that, knee lift to the midsection, and then Jarrett should be hitting the stroke here, right up. Really?
Soak it in, baby.
Mounting Brown pounce or something like that. I don't know what you just said. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so if I'm Lex Levesque, I'll be like, listen, dude, I know I'm a jobber, but to knee lift me and then taunt the camera for 10 seconds really kind of kills me.
A little bit. And he's got a good look, I think, so.
I would seriously put him in probably the Disciples thing. I think that's a good idea. Is this another promo for... Yes, it is.
Are they going to keep giving me goosebumps until the show?
Is this a different... This is different than the one that's... Oh, wait.
This is like a shorter, more condensed version.
One. Yeah.
TNA Wrestling presents
Victory Road.
I love these like shots they're using of the talent. It's so cool.
3-hour epic event.
Dude, it's going to be epic. I can't wait.
AJ Styles, Alex Shelley.
To face an X Division Pioneer.
Next on Impact. That should be a good match.
And another highlight package.
Maybe they don't want to do pre-tape promos.
Could be.
But then, like, what's the point of having Shane Douglas if he's not interviewing nobody?
Another great question, Bob.
Yeah. So we're just now again. People may be wondering why is this happening with PD? AJ he had said before the conclusion of his Kash feud that he was coming back for his gold, and his gold being the X Division Championship.
That's right.
So
I think it's going to be a really good match when it happens. I bet you we're going to see this happen before the 3-hour paper. This is going to be an Impact match.
AJ and PD?
I think it will be.
Really?
I'd be shocked if they can make it last another 7 weeks to get to the pay-per-view.
Well, yeah, because really overall, it'd probably be like 10 since the
Right.
first mention of it.
Here comes Alex Shelley with Goldilocks.
All right. I do have indie notes here, I believe, for Alex Shelley.
Oh, okay.
And quite a bit, in fact. So
Wow, okay.
his last appearance was on September 8th in terms of a televised one, so we got a few here. September 11th, Alex Shelley lost to Chris Hero for the Combat Zone Wrestling Iron Man title, which Iron Man match usually means a time limit. Well, that one had a no time limit stipulation.
What?
That was at CZW high stakes to the afternoon show at the ECW arena.
Wait, how do you do a no limit?
They must have had a draw or something before. I don't know. That same day, for Ring of Honor at Glory by Honor 3 in Elizabeth, New Jersey, Alex Shelley lost to Bryan Danielson in 19 minutes and 21 seconds. On September 15th, Alex Shelley lost to Claudio Castagnoli at IWA Mid-South's A Phenomenal Invasion at Evansville, Indiana. On September 16th, Alex Shelley teamed up with Roderick Strong as Generation Next to defeat Chris Hero and Nigel McGuinness in 18 minutes and 15 seconds at an IWA Homecoming in New Albany, Indiana. And the last note here is on September 17th, Alex Shelley once again lost to Bryan Danielson in the first round of the Ted Petty Invitational in 14 minutes and 43 seconds.
Wow.
And that was in Highland, Indiana as well.
They just noted on commentary, Bob, that Jeff Hammond is not here because of something with NASCAR, but he will be back in October with his 6 points of impact.
Well, that's a relief.
Rest of the X Division coming up. As this match has got going on here, Styles has control of Shelley, but they're quite technical start here. Shelley counters, nice hammerlock behind the back of Styles, but Styles is countering that one now with an arm twist. I figure, we're getting really close to that time, Bob. Might as well start telling people now. Keep an eye out. Bound for Glory 2022. That's right. The TNA Cross the Line podcast will be there. Look for our sign if you're going to be in attendance and you're listening. Come say hi to us. Bob's tall as fuck. Can't miss him.
Yeah. Maybe I'll wear my Impact sweatshirt that I bought.
Oh, you definitely got to, dude.
At Rebellion.
You got to.
Well, I mean, it'll probably be cold by then, right? October?
Yeah. Am I going to have to buy another $300 turnbuckle? I don't know. No, I'm not doing that. I can't do that again.
Maybe.
I'll be honest with you. After going to Rebellion, I cannot wait to see the merch table.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna look real harder this time because I was pretty impressed. I really, really liked it, and I really can't wait to see what kind of meet and greets they might have or anything like that.
Yeah, I'm quite interested. I think what I'm most excited about these shows are the card announcements, just to see like what will actually be on the show.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited. These guys are still going really technical here. It's been a lot of fun.
Chain wrestling.
But yeah, Bound for Glory is a bucket list item for me, so I'll end it at that for now. But I'm really, really excited.
Well, I mean that's like the one pay-per-view that has been consistently a pay-per-view for them since.
Yeah, it's like that and Slammiversary are what's left, and
right.
So yeah, I'm really excited. I like I've said before, but I have like a Bound for Glory sign from the very first one that was like hanging in the Impact Zone. Like I just cannot wait. I'm really excited.
Are you gonna bring that to get signed?
Dude, if it wasn't so fucking big, I would. It's massive.
Is it signed already by anybody or no?
It is not, and that's like too big to bring to signing and stuff. So that one like just stay how it is.
Because what would be pretty cool, like if that was I think that's the first one you said. If you could get people to sign that first one.
Who were at the show?
Well, not just about that show, but the one that we're going to.
Yeah. Nice missile drop kick by AJ Styles onto Shelley, potentially breaking his tooth. That's how fucking good it was.
Alex Shelley's. Oh, he got dropped over there.
Oh, right over the rope.
Jeez.
Goldilocks looks very confused. Oh, grabbing the foot. Oh.
Styles likes to do that, take the ropes on his midsection. I was just going to say, Alex Shelley, okay, this guy just seems like he just constantly gets better. And I feel like that's not really supposed to, I feel like that's not how it's really supposed to go.
I really like Alex Shelley.
You get older, you're not supposed to be better. I mean, he's just constantly doing a lot better for himself. So.
Right.
Styles setting in the corner, double knee by Shelley to the chest.
Shelley charges across the ring.
Snap mirror, drop kick to the back. Vicious drop kick. We are almost at the halfway mark of this match. There's 5 minutes, 45 seconds left in the time limit. The font on the top looks weird to me.
Okay, I was thinking that too. Like, it doesn't look the same to me.
Yeah.
I'm glad I've been thinking that the whole show, and I didn't know if I was just nuts or what.
Also, this referee guy.
Is that the same weird one?
It's the same weird one.
Oh, very odd. I don't know who he is.
Yeah,
and if you're following along, by the way, we're at 39 minutes into the show.
Yeah, which means there's 5.5 minutes left in the show itself. So this could be another time limit situation. Germans. Release.
That was awesome. This has been a good match.
Shelley right onto his neck. Shelley hasn't been in a WWE match, has he?
He's wrestled in NXT, if you count that.
He did?
Yeah. Very briefly.
Wow.
Yeah, here, I'll pull it up real quick.
Styles with a couple of forearms. Discus clothesline. No, Shelley counters. Misses a clothesline. Chop by Styles. How about another one? You got it. Forearm. Sends Shelley into the ropes.
He wrestled three.
Whirl.
Backbreaker, nice. He wrestled 3 matches, Bob, and 2 of them were at live events.
Okay.
But he teamed up with a longtime partner, now not Chris Sabin. Reverse. Or nice. Moonsault, reverse DDT. He teamed up with Kushida. And unfortunately, they lost to the Grizzled Young Veterans in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic 2020 first round match on January 15th, 2020.
Oh, wow, that recent.
Yeah. They brought the time splitters in. And they actually defeated the Forgotten Sons twice on live events prior to that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that was his little stint there in WWE.
Interesting. I had no idea.
And now he's back with Impact. He had an excellent heavyweight title match with Josh Alexander at Emergence that I have finally caught up on.
Shelley going for a suplex. Styles countering it off the ropes.
Whoa! Tilt the world, rolls up.
Roll up.
3.
Got it. 3 minutes and 27 seconds left in the time limit.
That's a good match, Bob.
That was good.
Oh,
and
quick cut.
Wrestling and an abrupt cut away from that.
Is this another different package?
For 3.5 minutes, maybe. Who knows?
Look at the camera shaking with the pyro.
I saw that. Is this for this show?
Impact rocks. It kind of is just hyping up Impact in general. The Impact Zone, Orlando, Florida. What is this? I'm very confused. Cool shots and stuff like that, though, from in the tunnel with the pyro, from behind of people coming out. I always think those are really cool. That's Raven right there. That's not the Impact Zone. That is a Nashville shot. Oh, that was a nice tunnel shot. Oh, we're flashing. What's that?
Kevin Dunn is probably loving this right now.
Oh, that was a guitar shot. You see that?
Yeah.
Feeling the pounds. I think this is just like a fun little package, it looks like, to close out the show.
That's it.
Oh, see, yeah, it's just showing names. The big stars, Monty Brown, here's Jeff Hardy.
Well, these are all potential contenders, I guess, right?
Right. Well, here's Styles now, though.
Styles,
Which,
I guess he's not a contender.
In front of the Orlando sign.
Yeah. All right. Are we going to see Conan listed in this?
No.
You don't think so?
No, I don't.
There's a chance.
I guess how long it is. It
three live crew in general. Okay, if Raven gets one, Conan should be able to get one.
Abyss.
Oh,
dude. Oh!
Hey! 3 live crew.
Baby.
There you go.
What is this? Look at this package of them like on a stage, like doing like an act. In Canada? We're really running through the main roster here. America's Most Wanted.
W. Skipper. Amazing Red.
Lots of Pele kicks and a lot of Pele kicks. Super kicks. News is kind of weird. Shark Boy.
What the fuck?
Triple X, I saw. I mean, we're going through everyone.
Yeah, I mean, obviously some repeats, but they're just showing their big moves.
Yeah. Zaire.
Yeah. Oh, Jarrell Clark missing the 630. Don't know why we would show a missed one, but okay.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Send your dead
Trinity. We haven't seen Trinity in a while. The
Player from the
original
Himalayas.
From the Himalaya. Huge pounce of Jimmy Rave we just saw.
The Naturals.
Some Styles stuff from like one of the first couple shows we just saw footage of. Some Canadian Destroyers. This is kind of long. Oh, we're flying through stuff. Total nonstop action with the logo. Fans chanting TNA. Oh, and then here we go again, Bob. Another quick version of the new face of professional wrestling.
That wraps it up.
Okay,
all right.
Well, what'd you think about this week's edition of Impact?
I would say I enjoyed that more than last week.
Really?
Yeah.
I also enjoyed it. I will also give it a thumbs up. Now, I can't hold it anymore, Bob.
Yeah.
I've waited all show. I should probably tell you this next week. But I have one more note.
Oh, God. Okay.
And I'll just start off by saying the show that we just watched was essentially old footage. So, 2 out of 4 matches we have already seen.
What?
We already saw Team Canada and Team Mexico face off, and that happened on June 10th of this year on the 2nd edition of Impact.
We already watched that match?
Yep. And then the Lex Levette and Jarrett match happened on July 29th on the 9th episode of Impact.
Get out of here. Are you serious?
Yeah, I didn't know if you were going to catch on.
I had no idea.
The Chris Sabin and Red versus Dallas and Kid Kash was actually a dark match from, I believe, the last show. So, we knew the result of that before we just watched it. So that was taped on September 9th, so the September 10th show. So all my dates, by the way, are one day off because of the taping.
What was the date for the Jarrett Lex one?
July 29th, so probably the 30th because of the day delay. And then that main event between Shelley and AJ Styles was in fact the match that we talked about, that we got a lot of high praise. That took place on August 26th or the 27th with the delay, I believe, on the 13th episode in a dark match.
Okay. So that one I figured. I honestly thought that one was going to be shown just because it was good. I mean, they said it was
right.
So that doesn't surprise you. But I did not. That just shows you I watch way too much pro wrestling for me to not realize that I've already watched 2 matches.
I thought the Lex Levette Jarrett one was going to be a dead giveaway.
I had no idea.
Let me read you this note. Normally, I'd save this for next episode, but I wanted to get Bob's live reaction, and I couldn't wait another week to tell him.
Holy shit. That's funny.
So,
and, I'm glad you told me now, because I would not have even remembered.
Right.
Next time.
So, this is a note I've been saying. I was going to wait until you either called this out or we got all the way through.
Okay.
So, it's noted here, what has been really strange is the company's cancellation of its first Tuesday night taping in Orlando on September 14th. So, this episode is from the 17th. Yeah, so they were going to tape it on the Tuesday. Now, with the hurricanes, which threatened the previous 2 shows, the fact it was canceled isn't strange, but how it was handled was. It was talked about on September 9th as a probability that they wouldn't run this week, and decided probably the next day. However, until September 13th, the day before the show, not only had TNA not announced it in Orlando, but announced it on either company website or Bob Ryder's OneWrestling.com site. So they literally the day before still didn't know. Now, many in the company didn't know for sure as late as September 13th. Some who tried to contact the company for info didn't have their calls or emails returned for days. Others were given very hazy information, and others were told over the weekend that there was no show. Now, the decision was finally made on September 13th, so probably later, to then have the announcers do voiceovers of matches in studio for both Explosion and Impact on September 17th and September 18th. Now, this is why I have no dark match notes. This is why I didn't give you a crowd number today, and I don't have any Explosion notes, because technically this would be our first week talking about Explosion, but I don't have Explosion notes for a couple weeks, really. So,
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That's insane.
And you know what? We saw 2 of the matches, but overall we got a good show out of it. And the 2 matches we didn't know or didn't see before, I think were worth it.
Good.
I think I'm glad we got to see those.
Yeah.
But this also explains like the weird highlight packages that we were seeing.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
That explains a lot for that.
Now, this of course leaves us with knowing not a fucking thing for Impact next week.
Sure.
Just kind of weird. But hey, if we enjoyed it, and I think it's so funny you didn't catch on.
I had no idea.
Definitely thought, because I was gonna pull the classic what you did with IcoPod and like see how long it took you to see. I had this plan in my whole head the whole time, and when you called out right before we recorded, Bob goes, "Is that the dark match?" And I was like, "Yeah, I think it is." And I was waiting for you to then call me, or either call me out and be like, "Oh, you didn't know it was like a pre-tape thing or something." I was like waiting.
Yeah, I had no idea. That's funny. That is funny. Well, I mean, I didn't like I said, I didn't hate the show, so. And I was not. I guess I don't have Lex Levette, Jeff Jarrett matches engraved in my brain. So.
I just think it was such a unique match. That's how I knew. The first one, and if you else noticed, P.D. Williams didn't have the X Division title in the first one.
That I did notice that.
Yeah.
And I almost was like, why doesn't he have the title?
Yep.
And that would have indicated that it was taped earlier.
Crazy,
but
man.
I did in fact notice that. I do.
It's crazy.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. Interesting to learn that.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really excited to now actually see what I think will be our true version of what Impact is going to be on next week's episode, assuming there's not another hurricane and going to screw us. Because this week we were hoping that's what we were going to get, and unfortunately that wasn't even close to the case. I mean, I feel like we could have. I know we weren't at the Impact Zone, but maybe we could have got at least a new interview or 2 in there. But having Don West and Mike Tenay do new commentary helped, because it was. I mean, that was the real thing that I think helped a lot of this, is because the commentary was fresh and it was like still relating to what we were seeing. Right. But yeah, man, I'm interested to see what's going to happen. I think we're truly going to see what's going to happen now. But we're inching closer and closer to Victory Road, the first 3-hour epic event. I can't freaking wait.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to finding out just exactly what will be on that show. Who will Jeff Jarrett defend the NWA World Title against? There's many options, potential outsiders, unless they're with him, as Jarrett has already teased. Maybe he got to them before Russo or Rhodes or even Sabisco. Who knows? But that is all I have for this week. We don't know anything regarding Impact for next week. So that's a bit of a bummer. I didn't note AJ Styles indie notes, or did I?
I don't think you did, but we can always play catch up if we need to. I'm sure he's going to be on the next Impact. I have not looked or anything, but
yeah, I mean, or I can just do it. I can just do it now.
If you want to. If you want to end us on a strong note with AJ Styles indie notes.
Well, yeah, how about we just do that? Because I don't want to play massive catch-up. I should have been paying attention. But that was good news.
Okay. It was. It was.
And I was mesmerized by that video package that was 3.5 minutes long. September 15th, AJ Styles defeated Matt Sydal, Phenomenal Invasion, IWA Mid-South, Evansville, Indiana. September 16th, he lost to Bryan Danielson at IWA Mid-South Homecoming on September 16th in New Albany. And then on the 17th of September, he defeated Jimmy Rave in the Ted Petty Invitational 2004 first round, IWA Mid-South, Highland, Indiana. All right, good.
Good. Okay, I'm glad we did that.
I am as well. All right. We will be returning to the Impact Zone next week for the September 24th edition of Impact. So get ready for some more crazy fun Impact fun next week. Until then,
I'm freaking ready.
you better be.
Let's go.
And you're not going on any Walmart runs, so screw it. Move on. Exactly. All right. Until then, for Dallas Gridley, I am Bob Conley Jr., and this has been the TNA Cross the Line podcast.